Hello and welcome to part 13 of our Azure Solutions Architect Expert Exam Practice Question Series, friends. We are starting with question number 99 of the series. You have an Azure subscription. The subscription contains an Azure SQL managed instance that stores employee details, including social security numbers and phone numbers. You need to configure the managed instance to meet the following requirements. The helpdesk team must see only the last four digits of an employee's phone number. Cloud administrators must be prevented from seeing the employee's social security numbers. What should you enable for each column in the managed instance? And the first part of the question is talking about phone numbers. And your options are always encrypted, column encryption, dynamic data masking, transparent data encryption. Folks, you will need to enable dynamic data masking to ensure help desk only views last four digit of employee's phone number, as it helps prevent unauthorized access to sensitive data by enabling customers to designate how much of the sensitive data to reveal with minimal effect on the application layer. Now, the next part of the question is talking about social security numbers. And again, you have all the four same options. Folks, you should enable always encrypted feature on the instance, as it is a feature designed to protect sensitive data such as credit card numbers or national or regional identification numbers stored in Azure SQL database, Azure SQL managed instance, and even SQL Server databases. Next question. You plan to use Azure storage account to store data assets. You need to recommend a solution that meets the following requirements: supports immutable storage, disables anonymous access to the storage account, supports access control lists based intra-ID permissions. What should you include in the recommendation? Your options are Azure Files, Azure Data Lake Storage, Azure NetApp Files, Azure Blob Storage. Now, folks, in terms of supporting immutable storage, both Azure Data Lake Storage and Azure Blob Storage are correct, but ACL is supported by Azure Data Lake Storage and not supported by Azure Blob Storage. So making option B as the correct answer. Now, there is a link on your screen at the moment. Feel free to browse through the link to understand more about Azure Data Lake Storage. Question number 101. You plan to use Azure SQL as a database platform. You need to recommend an Azure SQL product and service tier that meets the following requirements. Automatically scales compute resources based on the workload demand, provides per second billing. What should you recommend? And the first part of the question is talking about Azure SQL product. And your options are a single Azure SQL database, an Azure SQL database elastic pool, Azure SQL managed instance. Now, folks, the correct choice here would be a single Azure SQL database, as it supports the serverless compute tier, which can automatically scale compute resources based on the workload demand. Now, the next part of the question is talking about what should be the service tier of the database. Your options are basic, business critical, general purpose, hyperscale, or standard. And friends, the service tier should be general purpose, as serverless compute tier is part of general purpose service tier, and it also provides per second billing for compute usage when the database is active, saving costs during idle periods. Next question. You have an Azure subscription that contains a virtual network named VNet1 and 10 virtual machines. The virtual machines are connected to VNet1. You need to design a solution to manage the virtual machines from the internet. The solution must meet the following requirements. Incoming connections to the virtual machines must be authenticated by using Azure multi-factor authentication before network connectivity is allowed. Incoming connections must use TLS and connect to TCP port 443. The solution must support RDP and SSH. What should you include in the solution? Again, the first part of the question is talking about to provide access to virtual machines on VNet1 use. Your options are Azure Bastion, just-in-time VM access, Azure Web Application Firewall in Azure Front Door. And friends, you should use Azure Bastion here as it provides secure and seamless RDP or SSH connectivity to virtual machines directly from the Azure portal over TLS. Now, the next part of the question is talking about to enforce Azure MFA use. And your options are an Azure Identity Governance Access Package, a conditional access policy that has the Cloud Apps assignment set to Azure Windows VM sign-in, a conditional access policy that has the Cloud Apps assignment set to Microsoft Azure Management. Now, friends, you need to use a conditional access policy that has the Cloud Apps assignment set to Azure Windows VM sign-in. Then use the sign-in risk as a condition or phishing resistant MFA using require authentication strength grant control or require MFA as a control for granting access. Now, as always, again, there is a link on your screen. Go through the link to understand how you can enforce this type of conditional access policies. Question number 103 of the series. A company named DevOps Hub Limited has an Entra ID tenant that is integrated with Microsoft 365 and an Azure subscription. DevOps Hub has an on-premise identity infrastructure. The infrastructure includes servers that run Active Directory domain services and Entra Connect. DevOps Hub has a partnership with a company named Tech with Jaspal Incorporation. Tech with Jaspal has an Active Directory forest and a Microsoft 365 tenant. Now, Tech with Jaspal has the same on-premise identity infrastructure components as DevOps Hub. A team of 10 developers from Tech with Jaspal will work on an Azure solution that will be hosted in the Azure subscription of DevOps Hub. The developers must be added to the contributor role for a resource group in the DevOps Hub subscription. You need to recommend a solution to ensure that DevOps Hub can assign the role to the 10 TechWith developers. The solution must ensure that the TechWith developers use their existing credentials to access resources. What should you recommend? Your options are in the Entra ID tenant of DevOps Hub, create cloud-only user accounts for the TechWith developers. Configure a forest trust between the on-premise Active Directory forest of DevOps Hub and Tech with Jaspal. Configure an organization relationship between the Microsoft 365 tenants of Tech with Jaspal and DevOps Hub. In the Enter ID tenant of DevOps Hub, create guest accounts for the Tech with Jaspal developers. And friends, the correct answer here is option D. This approach leverages Entra ID B2B, which is business to business collaboration, allowing external users to access resources in your Entra ID tenant using their existing credentials. This way, the Tech with Jaspal developers can use their existing credentials to access the resources in the DevOps Hub subscription. Folks, if you are liking the content, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe the channel. Let's move to question number 104 of the series. You are designing a storage solution that will ingest, store, and analyze petabytes of structured, semi-structured, and unstructured text data. The analyzed data will be offloaded to Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 for long-term retention. You need to recommend a storage and analytics solution that meets the following requirements: stores the processed data, provides interactive analytics, supports manual scaling, built-in auto-scaling, and custom auto-scaling. What should you include in the recommendation? The first part of the question is talking about for storage and interactive analytics. And your options are Azure Data Explorer, Azure Data Lake Analytics, and Log Analytics. Friends, Azure Data Explorer is optimized for storing and querying structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data, making it ideal for this scenario. It is specifically designed for real-time and interactive analytics on large volumes of data, enabling users to quickly derive insights. Azure Data Explorer supports a variety of scaling options to handle workload demands, including manual scaling, built-in auto-scaling, and custom auto-scaling configurations. Now, the next part of the question is talking about query language, and your options are KQL, Transact SQL, and USQL. Folks, Azure Data Explorer uses KQL as its primary query language. KQL is specifically designed for interactive and efficient querying of large volumes of structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. It provides robust capabilities for data exploration, pattern matching, and analytics, making it ideal for real-time insights. Question number 105 of the series. You are designing a cost-optimized solution that uses Azure Batch to run two types of jobs on Linux nodes. The first job type will consist of short-running tasks for a development environment. The second job type will consist of long-running message passing interface applications for a production environment that requires timely job completion. You need to recommend the pool type and node type for each job type. The solution must minimize compute charges and leverage Azure hybrid benefit wherever possible. What should you recommend? For the first job, your options are batch service and dedicated virtual machines, user subscription and dedicated virtual machines, user subscription and spot virtual machines. Now, friends, short running tasks in a development environment typically do not require high availability or guaranteed job completion, making spot virtual machines a cost effective choice, and user subscription allows you to manage the batch pool using your own Azure subscription, giving you more control over VM configurations and pricing options. Now, friends, the next part of the question is talking about what should you recommend for second job, and again, you have the same options. Now, MPI workloads require high availability, low latency, and tight coupling between compute nodes, making dedicated virtual machines essential for ensuring job completions within the required timelines. And friends, user subscription provides control over VM configuration, enabling the use of Azure hybrid benefit for Linux nodes to reduce costs if eligible. Next question. Your on-premise network contains an Active Directory domain services domain. The domain contains a server named Server 1. Server 1 contains an app named App 1 that uses ADDS authentication. Remote users access App 1 by using a VPN connection to the on-premise network. You have an Entra ID tenant that syncs with the ADDS domain by using Entra Connect. You need to ensure that the remote users can access App 1 without using a VPN. The solution must meet the following requirements. Ensure that the users authenticate by using Azure multi-factor authentication and minimize administrative effort. What should you include in the solution? The first part of the question is talking about in Entra ID, and your options are a managed identity, an access package, an app registration, an enterprise application. Folks, by integrating App One as an enterprise application in the Entra ID, you can provide secure access to the app over the internet without requiring a VPN. Enterprise applications in Entra ID can enforce conditional access policies, including requiring MFA for authentication, and enterprise application integration leverages existing identity synchronization via Entra Connect and does not require significant additional configuration beyond initial setup, thereby minimizing administrative effort. Now, the next part of the question is talking about what should you include in the solution in the on-premise. A server that runs Windows Server and has the Entra ID application proxy connector installed. A server that runs Windows Server and has the on-premise data gateway installed. A server that runs Windows Server and has web application proxy role service installed. And friends, the correct answer here is option A. Entra ID application proxy connector allows secure access to an on-premise application like App1 over the internet, eliminating the need for a VPN and supports conditional access policies, including MFA, ensuring secure user authentication. Now, folks, we have now over 100 questions in the series till now. So if you are someone who is looking to get access to the PDF version of all the questions that we have covered in the series till now, then do not forget to take the gold membership of the channel. And then you just need to email us at devopshub2023@gmail.com requesting the PDF copy. Let's move to question number 107. You are building an Azure web app that will store the personally identifiable information of employees. You need to recommend an Azure SQL database solution for the web app. The solution must meet the following requirements: maintain availability in the event of a single data center outage, support the encryption of specific columns that contain PII, automatically scale up during payroll operations, minimize costs. What should you include in the recommendation? The first part of the question is talking about service tier and compute tier. Your options are business critical service tier and serverless compute tier, general purpose service tier and serverless compute tier, hyperscale service tier and provisioned compute tier. Friends, you should include general purpose service tier and serverless compute tier. The general purpose tier uses zone redundant high availability in regions that support availability zones, ensuring resilience across single data center outages and is more cost effective compared to business critical or hyperscale tiers. Now, the next part of the question is talking about the encryption method that you should include in the recommendation. Your options are always encrypted, Microsoft SQL Server and database encryption keys, transparent data encryption. You should use always encrypted encryption method as it allows you to encrypt specific columns in the database, making it an ideal choice for securing sensitive data like personally identifiable information. Encryption and decryption occurs client side using encryption keys stored outside of the database, ensuring that even database administrators cannot access plain text data. So, folks, that's all for this part of the series. We will be back soon with more such questions in our Azure Solutions Architect Expert exam practice question series.